Fellow Zimbabweans. Today we attempted something pretty crazy. We thought let's partner up with a fuel supplier, a fuel station, and try and deliver fuel to people who are desperate and in need, especially our elderly, pregnant ladies, a couple of disabled people who had requested us to deliver for them. Now, the whole idea was that they buy the fuel from the station and then they pay us a delivery charge, and then we bring it to their homes. Now, when we offer this service, we're not expecting the incredible amount of demand. Our phones didn't stop ringing. I mean, we got many thousands of people trying to call us and trying to contact us on Facebook and Twitter and so forth. Now, I think it's important that we think about practical solutions to see how we can assist the vulnerable in our communities, because I think the best way to judge a citizenry is how it treats its weakest. And right now we're being caught wanting pretty badly. We met a lot of elderly people who are literally stranded on end all the time because they don't have the energy, nor the stamina, nor the physique to be in queues with an 18-year-old. I think it's ludicrous to expect an 18-year-old kid and a go-go who's 80, who has to get fuel, to wait in the queue for the same amount of time. Now, I believe that these fuel stations have a duty of care for some of these elderly patients, these elderly people, in the sense that, you can't be in a fuel queue for 4 hours with no toilets. You can't be in a fuel queue for so many hours with no water, or just simple things like that. So I thought we could come up with the practical solution as citizens. See how can we get together and actually try and bring about some change to make life slightly, and not even incredibly, but just slightly better for some of the weakest people in our societies, especially our elderly infirm, our nursing mothers, our expecting mothers, people with disabilities and so forth. So I thought we could come up with some practical solutions. The first one being, we need to allow our elderly and infirm and vulnerable to jump the queues. We just need to let it happen. It's almost as if we need to have some volunteers who are checking IDs and just getting our pensioners to the front of the queue. And it can be an alternating system where you let a pensioner in, then you let a couple more cars in, then you let another pensioner in, so that we can alleviate some of this incredible time that they have to spend in the queues, because we've all had to do it. And I think it's not reasonable to expect someone my age to be in the queue for the same time as someone who's my mother's age. I think it's just unreasonable to be expecting that in the twilight of our parents' and our grandparents' age. The second thing is, I think we need to really force these petrol stations. They have a duty to care, for their customers, people who've made them millions and millions of dollars in profits. So I think it's up to us to also start lobbying harder to make sure that they do special days for people who are vulnerable. I know one particular station is doing that right now, but I think all of them must. There's a lot of big brands in Zimbabwe right now, Zua, Engine, Trek, etc. And I think all of them must at least have an hour a day, or a special day where they allow people with special needs, like our elderly and our nursing mothers, etc., to go in and get some fuel. And also, I think we must be lobbying harder to combat this insistence on forcing our elderly infirm to pay in US dollars, when we know that they're not earning any new money, they're not gaining any new skills, they're not participating in the digital boom or anything of that nature. And I think, how are we expecting people who are not even earning a decent pension to suddenly materialize for Forex? I know that the fuel stations need Forex, but I think we must find a way of mitigating for those who are the most vulnerable in our communities. So let's start thinking of some practical solutions as a people. Try and dig deep into our Ubuntu, into our humanity. Because right now, I think we're failing really badly as Zimbabweans because we're genuinely just trying to equalize and say everybody wait in the queues for the same amount of time. And the people we met today made me really sad. It's a very sad situation. And like I said, some people are stranded for days and days and days because they just don't have the stamina to stand in a queue for 8 hours. And some of us do. I mean, shit, we'll play on Facebook or whatever, but I think, like I said, the best gauge of a citizenry is how it treats the weakest amongst them. So yeah, we got a lot of work to do. Zimbabwe's in a lot of trouble right now, so I think the best way to get out of it is if we all pull together and try and find ways of helping each other. Later.